So this is something I feel like, if I was the president, and it's unlikely that that is ever going to happen.
You never know.
If I was the president...
It was unlikely that I was going to be president.
The moment I was inaugurated, my hand it'd still be hot from touching the Bible.
My hand it'd still be hot from touching the Bible.
And I would immediately race to wherever they have the files about Area 51 and the UFOs. Yeah. And I go through everything to find out what happened.
Right.
Did you do that?
That's why you will not be president. That's the first thing that you would do.
So did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in and he did check and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
We had your husband, President Clinton, on the show. He said, I asked him about UFOs and Area 51, and if he looked in, because if I was president, that's the first thing I do. I go right into those files and see what was going on.
Right.
And he said that he did do that.
Yes.
And that he didn't find anything.
Well, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, why not?
I would like us to go into those files and hopefully make as much of that public as possible. If there's nothing there, let's tell people there's nothing there.
What if there is something there?
Well, if there is something there, unless it's a, threat to national security, I think we ought to share it with the public.
I think it was at the beginning of my second term. We had the anniversary of Roswell.
You waited that long?
I did.
Wow.
Well, I didn't. And then there's also Area 51. You remember there was a great sci-fi movie where there was an alien kept deep under the ground in Area 51? Oh. So it makes it increasingly less likely that we're alone.
Oh, you're trying to give me a hint that there are aliens. Well, now we have friendly
Maybe the only way to unite this incredibly divided world of ours. They're out there. We better think of how all the differences among people on Earth would seem small if we felt threatened by a space invader. That's the whole theory of independence.
You're right.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Because this is a serious question. The godmother of your daughter, Shirley MacLaine, writes in her new book that you cited a UFO over her home in Washington State.
I did, and the rest of the account, it was unidentified flying object, okay? It's unidentified. And also, you have to keep in mind that Jimmy Carter saw a UFO, and also that more people in this country have seen UFOs and I think approve of George Bush's presidency.
And today, a group of scientists overseas say that world governments should start preparing an action plan just in case Earth is contacted by aliens. They claim that a branch of the UN should be given responsibility for what they call a supra-Earth affairs and come up with a detailed response for if or when the extraterrestrials arrive.
The senior Vatican scientist said that he would be delighted if we encountered intelligent aliens and would be happy to baptize them. His pronouncement opens up the possibility of space missionaries heading out to the stars to convert aliens to Christianity.
It's the Fire Officer's Guide to Disaster Control and said to be found in firehouses across the U.S. The book covers everything from fires to floods, but it's chapter 13 that takes an unusual twist in firefighting techniques titled Enemy Attack and UFO Potential.
It would not be remiss to give some thought to the part that fire departments might play in the event of the unexpected arrival of UFOs in their communities.
This is a real phenomena that we should deal with. We should deal with seriously.
And the report also said that evolution on alien worlds is likely to be Darwinian, which may mean the extraterrestrials share our tendencies for violence and exploitation. So basically, when they arrive on Earth, they're probably going to be mean. I'm not kidding. One of the scientists actually said, prepare for the worst.
You know, everyone's interested. How would I know if I see an alien and if he abducts me?
Well, the first question you have to ask is how many species are there?
Should we be creating a Star Wars force to defend ourselves from possible invasion or something like that?
Well, I think it's a possibility, but it's a possibility especially if we shoot down every UFO that comes in our airspace without asking who they are or what they want. So I think we have to, rather than develop our own Star Wars, Earth Star Wars, to protect ourselves against them, that we should work with the benign species, who are the vast majority, and work together.
Now, they are said to be able to cross galaxies, but people who believe they're out there want to know why aliens want to visit Earth. A group of former U.S. servicemen is convinced extraterrestrials are interfering with nuclear weapons, as RT's Cedric Moon explains.
Let's say there's an attack from where doesn't matter. It could be North Korea, Iran, Pakistan. If that were to happen, nuclear payback wouldn't.
Our missiles began going into what's called a no-go condition or unlaunchable. Essentially, they were disabled.
Detailed in this report, full of court-sanctioned sworn affidavits.
The witnesses have described these craft as disc-shaped or cylindrical-shaped or spherical.
If you think what's being said inside this building is completely ridiculous, you might want to consider something.
In 1966, according to a launch officer, David Schur, his missiles were temporarily activated just as his security guard was reporting a bright object moving from missile to missile to missile.
Well, a major announcement today by NASA that a new form of life has been discovered right here on Earth, in California, in fact, where all good and perhaps all strange things come from. This is pretty significant. Talk about just how significant this kind of small discovery, but major discovery is.
Well, we think we understand what life is. We think you know it when you see it. Scientists pride themselves on saying, here's a set of 6 elements. You have these 6 elements and that is life. Well, it turns out, surprise, surprise, they're wrong.
I mean, if we discovered that space aliens were planning to attack, and we needed a massive buildup to counter the space alien threat, and really inflation and budget deficits took secondary place to that, this slump would be over in 18 months.
see this?
That's crazy.
The internet is buzzing this morning over this bizarre video shot near a military base in Dayton, Ohio, that appears to show an object hovering and disappearing into the clouds.
Вы можете получить, посмотрев известный хроникально-документальный фильм «Люди в черном». Вышло несколько версий.
Сколько их среди нас?
Сколько их среди нас, рассказывать не буду, потому что это может вызвать панику.